Hi, Karl again from Realty Executives. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to cover an important topic called objection handling. You know, a lot of times when we're sitting face to face with a seller, we're at a point where the seller wants to hire you, but they have a couple questions first. And that's really all an objection is. An objection, Mike says, is simply nothing more than a question in the mind of a prospect or a client that remains unanswered. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to get, crazy about. It's nothing to go nuts over. But the question usually is, if the objections never change, and let's think about this. Really, in the short time I've done real estate, I've only done it 16 years. Nothing has changed. There's been really no variation about what it is they've said. They always say the same things. We want to list high so we can come down. We want to cut your commission. We're thinking of listing with, XYZ company. What is it that you do to sell homes? We think we'll save the commission by selling it ourselves. All of these commissions, all of these questions, they never change. So the question then for you and I is, why don't we just learn the answer? It's not like they're having brand new seminars for sellers every day. So let's go over a couple of the most common objections. There's really only about 11 of them. And let's come up with some answers that you and I can answer together. And that way you and I can go ahead and get the listings and the sales that we say we need for this coming year. If you'd like to go ahead and get a copy of all of these objections, feel free to look at MikeFerry.com. That's MikeFerry.com, MikeFerry.com. In the complimentary downloads section, you'll find a list of all the most common objections and a script for what you can say to all of these people to go ahead and have them understand your point of view. So let's start off with the first one. The first one's pretty simple. It just is, we only want to give you, say, a 30, 90-day listing, something along those lines. Hey, there's no need to get this crazy long distance type of answer. Hey, simply is, hey, look, I'm sorry, I won't do that. 6 months is our company policy. Okay? Therefore, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract so I can help you get what you want in the time you want it. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, it's very simple. I'm sorry, I can't do that. No big deal. The next one, we're thinking about listing with XYZ company. Or maybe, we've never even heard of your company. Now, think about this. If you're in a smaller company and you're competing with a larger company, all right, or maybe a large franchise, then think about it. What is it that actually sells a company? Sells a home. Is it the agent? Is it the company? Is it what is it? Is it the price? It is the price that actually sells the property, and the person who actually sells the property is the individual agent. So let's think this through logically together, all right? Doesn't it make sense to sit there and point out the truth to the seller and simply tell them, hey, look, you know what? I understand your concern. You're cushioning what it is their objection is, okay? And I think you realize a company doesn't sell a home. It's the individual agent's activities. So do you feel I can sell your home? Great. Well, then all we need to do now is simply sign a contract so I can help you get back to San Diego in the time that you want. Won't that be great? Great. Sign the contract. The next one, we want to save the commission by selling it ourselves. Now, this one is going to require a little bit more thought, all right? So think about what it is that the client is telling you. Look, we're not 100% convinced that you can do the job. So we think maybe we'll sell it ourselves, okay, because we don't see any value you bring to this whole equation. So why should we pay? And I think, frankly, if you can't convey to them a reason why they should hire you, then no, they shouldn't pay you a commission. Okay, let's just face this through here. Mr. Seller, I agree. You could save the commission by selling it yourself. Because it's true. Acknowledge the obvious. If they could sell the home themselves, then yes, they would save the commission. Yes, Mr. Seller, I understand. You could save the commission by selling it yourself. However, are you aware that today, now this is where you're going to need to know your statistics, all right? Today, over 6,168 homes are for sale in the market. And last month, okay, only 928 of them actually sold. That's about, a 6-month supply of homes if no other homes come on the market. Now, face this fact with them, okay? You have got to know your statistics. And the fact is that, look, there is a 6 month supply of homes. There's only so many that are selling, okay? And that's 6 months worth of time. That's 6 months worth of homes that have come on the market. I'm sorry, if no other homes come on the market. Now, what's the obvious fact that we're missing here? That there are new homes coming on the market to replace the ones that sold. So what's that number for your marketplace? Here in Tucson, it's about $1,200 a month. All right, so you want to let them know that. You know, last month, only 900 actually sold. All right, that means there's a 6 month supply of homes if no other homes come on the market. Wait for it. All right, then you want to tell them, look, and last month, another 1,200 homes came on the market. And what's worse is the fact that only 2% of homes, okay, are actually sold by owner, while 98% of all homes in Tucson, all right, are sold using real estate agents. Now, let's just time out real quick. Is that the truth? Absolutely, it's the truth. If you look on the multiple listing service, if you look on all the tax assessors records, wherever your market is, you're going to find out about 98% of the homes that are sold in your marketplace are going to be sold by agents, okay? That being said, when you tell them the truth, can you afford to only have a 2% chance of selling your home? All right? If they can and they can wait, hey, so great, so be it. Great, that's good for you, okay? But for most people, that's not acceptable. And if it's not acceptable, when you say, can you afford to have only a 2% chance of selling your home, a 98% chance, of selling it with an agent, all right? Let's do the right thing. Let's simply go ahead and sign the contract so I can help you get where you want in the time you want it. Won't that be great? Great, sign the contract. Now, just again, in case you haven't caught this through, do not say over and over and over again, all right, let's go ahead and sign the contract so I can help you get what you want the time you want it. Won't that be great? Don't say that over and over again. You're going to sound like a broken record. All right, mix it up a little bit. The next one. Let's list high, all right? We can always come down later, all right? Why is the seller wanting to do this? The reason why the seller wants to do this is so they can make sure that they don't lose any money. And that is perfectly natural. You can't be mad at the seller for wanting to do what's natural, all right? When the seller says we want to list high, put our price up here, because when they think this through with the buyer, they think buyers make offers, regardless of what the price is. And that's been their experience. In the upward trending markets, where the markets are going up and selling $10,000, $15,000 more than the asking prices like they were in 2003, 4, 5, 6, if you were in the Western United States, that was really common. It's very common for them to think now that people will come down $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Whereas you and I both know, if you're selling real estate on a full-time basis, you know that the average home sells within 3 to 4% of the market price, okay? The asking price, all right? Then you're going to realize that the reality of what you're thinking, the reality of the market, is in no way, shape, or form connected to their perception. Now, I'm going to repeat that. The reality of the market is in no way, shape, or form connected to their perception. Their perception of the market is real to them. If you are talking to a for sale by owner or an expired listing or someone who's thinking about selling their home, and you ask them, well, how much would you take for your home? They say, well, make me an offer. You say, okay, great. They're asking $100,000 for their house, let's say, okay? They might even be willing to go down to $90,000 because they think that's the differential. When in reality, when it's listed with a realtor, okay, they're going to actually sell between $97,000 to $100,000, or maybe even more, depending on the market. So that's where you got to come from when you're talking to them, and understand that for the seller, all right, when they say we want to list high, that's why. So let's get this to them, okay? Now, I understand that you want to list high. Remember, you always want to cushion everything they say, and understand, don't come in there and say, well, you're wrong, this is stupid. Don't say that, okay? Don't blow it now. Say, I understand that you want to list your home high now, to leave room for negotiating. And have you really considered the problem that creates for you? Now, most of the time, they have not sold more than a house or two in their entire life. And if you're going through training and you're studying and you're selling real estate on a day-to-day basis, you're selling homes every day and you know what the reality is. Now, it's your job as a real estate professional to go ahead and help educate them to the marketplace. Mr. Seller, most people won't even bother looking at homes that are overpriced, okay? Would you rather have a bidding war on your home or not have an opportunity to have any offers at all? Look, this is not, rocket science. You're just simply making sense. Of course they're going to want to have more than one offer, but they don't necessarily believe it. They don't necessarily understand that there's going to be a bidding war. But they do understand the concept of not having any offers at all. That makes sense. They also understand the concept that, most buyers are not going to want to look at overpriced listings, okay? So you're making some statements here that are really true. And to them, that's really what's important, okay? So the thing I want you to understand with this objection handler, understand where they're coming from, and then point out the logic of what it is that the market is telling them. So most people won't even bother looking at homes that are overpriced. Would you rather have a bidding war on your home, or would you rather have no opportunity to negotiate offers at all? Which works better for you? Then let's do the right thing. Let's go ahead and sign the contract so I can help you get what you want in the time you want it. Won't that be great? Great. The next one. This one is we want to think it over. How many times have you heard we want to think it over? Now look, this stumps most agents, and for the life of me, I can't understand why. This is not a new thing. What is it that the seller is telling you when they say, we want to think this out, we want to think it over, okay? It's because you've not given them a compelling reason why they should work with you. Look, okay, let's pretend that you have a car that's broken, all right? And you take your car down to the dealership, and then when you're down at the dealership, okay, he says, well, I think it's the carburetor. So, I think I can get the job done. Why don't you go ahead and leave it here? It'll cost about, $6,000 to do, okay? Or better yet, I guess maybe for a car, 6,000 might not be a good word. Maybe it'll cost you about 2,000 to do. And I think I'll get it done maybe, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. You're never going to leave your car with this guy. First, he doesn't know what the problem is. Second, he doesn't know how much it's going to take to fix it. Third, he doesn't know how long it's going to take to fix it. And more importantly, you need to have this car back so you can go to work, okay? The same thing goes, it's the same concepts, no different. With the seller, they have a specific problem. If they are motivated, remember, motivation is key. If you don't have a motivated seller, then no objection handler in the world is going to work for you, all right? But a motivated seller has a specific problem. You've identified what that specific problem is because you've done your pre-qualification. You've identified a solution. You can figure out, okay, this is exactly what we're going to do, step by step by step by step, to solve this problem. This is how much it's going to cost, i.e. your net sheet. You're telling them how much they're going to make, okay? And this is how long it's going to take. About, according to the market statistics for your neighborhood, it's going to take about 82 days to get a home sold, okay? About 30 days after that, you're going to get your money. So you're figuring about, maybe 4 months you're going to get your money. When everything's said and done, everything going right, that's what you're going to make. This is how long it's going to take. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to charge. And that's going to solve your problem. End of story. In your presentation, the 3 things that a seller always wants to know is, what is it going to take to sell my home? What are you going to do? How much is it going to cost me? And how quick can you get it done? That's all they want to know. They don't care about you. Let's just get that real clear. You are a necessary evil. If they could get rid of you, take you out of the equation, and sell their home, they would do it in a heartbeat. You're a necessary evil here. So face this fact that when they say to you, we want to think it over, it's because there's something in their head that they're not sure about. And if they're not sure, they're not going to sign a piece of paper to go ahead and have you, a stranger, handle the most expensive part of their life. So you need to challenge that and ask them, okay, that's a good question. And you know what? That's great. And since two minds are better than one, all right, let's think out loud together. Tell me, what are you thinking about? You got to get to the bottom of this so you can find out what the real objection is. This is a smokescreen. And once you find that out, then you can go ahead and handle it. Now, some people, all right, are situated in life where they want to sleep on it, or they want to take 24 hours because we always take 24 hours to think it over and all of that. And in that case, some people, you could push and push and push and push, and you would never get that sale. And the reason why is because the harder you push, the more resistant they get. Okay? If that is the truth, and you accept that, all right, if you accept the fact that plumber sitting in your house to fix your pipes, and you tell him, well, I'm not too sure about that price, let me get a second thought, and that plumber keeps pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, you're never going to do business with that guy. Same concept here. If you accept that that's true, then the concept is the same with an agent and a buyer or a seller. And they say, well, we want to think it over. And you say, well, great. Well, let's think out loud together. 3 minds are better than 2. What are you thinking about? Okay, well, we want to sleep on it. Okay, great. It's important that you acknowledge this and say, you know what, you're right. It is a big decision, isn't it? Well, yeah, it is. Yet the decision must be made based upon what you want, correct? Time out. Is that true? Is it a big decision? Selling a home always is. Buying a home always is, okay? The second thing is, it has to be made. If they're a motivated seller or a buyer, then the decision at some point has to be made, okay? And it has to be made based upon what they want, which is absolutely true. So we're not lying. We're not making up fantasies. We're just saying exactly what needs to happen. Now let's do this, okay? Let's sign the contract today, contingent upon your approval in the next 24 hours. That way we both win. May I tell you how? Okay, this is interesting. You're saying sign a contract, which is something I'm not so sure I want to do, but yet it's contingent upon my approval in the next 24 hours. And now you're telling me, okay, that we're both going to win. How's that going to work? And now you're asking my permission. Can I tell you how? Okay, sure, I'll listen to you. Go ahead. Mr. Seller, you have 24 hours, okay, with no pressure. So you can sleep on it and feel comfortable, okay? And then I'll call you in the morning and you simply tell me yes or no. When you say yes, I will begin marketing your property immediately. And if you say no, I'll just rip up the contract and you have no obligation. Either way, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract so I can help you get what you want in the time you want it. Won't that be great? Great. Sign the contract. Okay, so hopefully these first 6 objections will help you get through. And tomorrow we'll go ahead and we'll cover up some more of the best objections, these other 5 that remain. And I hope that you take a minute to go to, again, MikeFerry.com, go to the free download section, and you'll see the same objections I'm going over here with you. If you memorize them and you study them and you understand the logic behind it, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't increase the ratio of the listings you take to the listings that you go after. So I hope this has been of value to you. If it has, then feel free to go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, tell me some more about what you thought of this video, and I'll be sure to go ahead and improve or change or make some different subjects. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.